Hello and welcome back to Talk Scottish Football. No, your eyes are not deceiving you. You're actually seeing us. Last week, the boys forgot to bring an SD card, so there was no visuals. I don't know if that's a blessing or a curse, but do you know what I mean?
They said they were all naked, so...
They did, didn't they? Yeah. It was quite uncomfortable viewing, but...
Ryan said he was wearing nothing but his name tag, his Tesco name tag.
Yeah, that gave me nightmares.
Very uncomfortable listening, you're right.
Yep. What would you say? Do you think we're nicer looking than they three? I know Jack's a handsome boy, but they are to bring the standards down, I think, didn't they?
Ouch.
I'm kidding on. I'd say
we're all beautiful here. We're all beautiful here.
Aye.
On the inside.
I'm being nice to myself there. I'm a sight. But kidding on. What was I going to say?
I don't know, maybe you're just starstruck.
Aye. Pretty much. I don't even know what I was going to say.
You're going to talk about the football.
It's a cracking intro.
Every time I come here, the last thing I want to talk about is the football. Especially with how the football's gone, bro. Do you know what I mean? I mean, should we start with the football?
It's a good place.
Let's smash it.
No, kidding on. All jokes aside, if you're new in here, please consider subscribing to the channel. It'll help us out a hell of a lot. Get involved in the comment section below. Like the video, all that good stuff. I do need to respond to some of the comments in the last podcast. Some people were devastated that they didn't get to see my tears and such on the last podcast. But I'm here now. Time to face the music. Couldn't make last week. I always make them. Do you know? I'm no pulling a Ryan where he used to, when Celtic get beaten, all the rest of it. He used to disappear for months on end. I'm back here to face the music. Yep. A lot of people are probably wondering, do I think the league's done and such? Abso-fucking-lutely. It's got to be. For me, Rangers had to win. Ryan McGinley's still adamant that it hasn't done.
Last season scarred me. Now I know we weren't in a title race last season, but last season scarred me.
If Rangers manage to win this league, that's going to be bigger than Helicopter Sunday, because effectively Celtic need to lose 3 of the last 5 games, am I right? Mm-hmm. And that's not going to happen, surely. So,
and the goal difference swing as well. That's virtually.
That's what I mean. So that's why I think.
Well,
so it's 6 points in it. So that's why I think that they need to lose 3 games or draw a game or whatever.
Yeah, right enough. Yeah.
So that's finished. But I did want to start today. Obviously, Rangers and Celtic, big score lines, but one of the big results was one for yourself, I thought, Adam, in the Edinburgh derby. It was a weekend of the derbies, to be fair. We had the Dundee derby, we had the Edinburgh derby. None of them on the TV, so no. Sky, step up your game. But
shambles.
Tell us how the game went. Hearts versus Hibs at Tynecastle.
It's a sluggish start from the mighty Jam Tarts, that would be fair to say. Going 1-0 down after 5 minutes through a fairly scrappy goal. One that we can easily prevent, given that it actually comes from our corner. Barry Mackay swings it in, Matt Macy gathers, just bowls it out to Josh Doig, and from there Hibs break, sends up to Dre Wright. I actually thought Muller got a touch on it, but it doesn't appear that was the case. I know the goal's been given to Wright, but 1 or 2 deflections and a really stuttering start from Hearts. I think the first sort of 20-25 minutes really failed to get a grip of the game, to be honest. And then we come into our own, create some chances, miss a couple sitters if we're being honest. But thankfully we go in at the half level through your mate Andy Halliday.
I wish he was my mate. You know, I've seen Andy Halliday out and about numerous times, but I've shot it every time we go up to him.
Where have you seen him?
Usually the Quay in Glasgow. You know what that is? There's lots to do there. Seen him in Nando's once, seen him in the cinema with his girlfriend once, but every time I've just crap out it. So next time I see you, Andy, I will be hounding you like that young kid did to Cristiano Ronaldo at the weekend with my phone.
Jake Halliday will knock your phone out your hand.
Aye.
I would let Ronaldo knock the phone out my hand, because he's getting a good deal out of it, because he's going to meet him in that and stuff.
No, he's invited him to go to a Man U game. If you're any self-respecting Everton fan, you'll tell him to fuck off, and you'll try to get 100 grand out of him.
Unless it's United Everton next season.
Not for me.
No?
If I'm that fan, we're going to co-op, baby. Fair enough. I'm getting rich.
But Ronaldo's lawyers, you're up against. Whoa.
Aye, but the evidence is literally there.
True.
Surely they're going to settle that one out of court. So the game, yeah, I totally agree. I think Hibs started the better. They had a couple of counter attacks after they scored as well, where they maybe could have made use of them a wee bit better as well. But for all that Hearts didn't play the best in the first half, they still had numerous chances. They still had the one-on-one with Boyce, where I think the goalkeeper does really well. The big man Sims through the middle as well, where he's a wee bit nonchalant with the finish, try to be a wee bit too smart with it, I thought.
That's the consolation that I guess we took from that, in that it was only one at that stage. We were really pushing for the equaliser. After sort of half an hour, I couldn't tell you if Hibs troubled Craig Gordon again, to be honest. It didn't feel as though, it felt for the best part of an hour like we were the thoroughly dominant team. But like I say, the goal before half time changes everything. And the big man bodies Paul Hanlon, Andy Halliday up from midfield, and it's a cracking finish in front of the Hibs fans, which was great.
I thought it was a brilliant finish. It fell perfectly to him, but you need to be in the right position and you need to put it in the net. And Andy's always had an eye for goal. Even all his career, he's always kind of been, he's wanted to get numbers and such. So I think that's actually his 4th league goal this season, which is not too bad when he started. Yeah. He's not started every game and he's been at left back or left wing back or whatever so much. But he took the goal really well, and then come out in the second half, McGinley, and Hibs should just be trying to settle in, I think, and try and pick up where they left off. Well, pick up where how they started, obviously, in the first half. But Hearts get in at the back post and they score a second, and that was it really after that, I thought.
Yeah, once Hearts went 2-1 up, there was only going to be one winner, you would think. Hibs are a really sorry state of a side at the moment. It's not really worked under Maloney, I wouldn't say, so far. There's a lot of new signings coming in. I don't think a lot of them have turned up, if I'm being honest.
I heard it's 1 win in 13 league games since he took charge. And even then, like, his post-match was weird. Excuse me, he was saying, like, when he came in that they were in 7th, as though he was excusing the fact that they finished in the bottom 6. But surely Hibs made that change in order for you to get them up that league table.
Absolutely.
Which is bizarre.
That is odd. I thought it would have been a better fit, to be honest. I thought he'd come in and do a good job at Hibs. I thought he would revitalise them, but so far it's not looking like that's the case at all. I don't think they should go and sack him, but he needs the summer. But if it doesn't,
a big first job for him as well, though.
And he'll have the pressure of, because he's in the bottom 6, he'll be doing League Cup football in the summer as well. That's a big thing. Remember Ian Cathro didn't survive that. Sorry to bring him back up, mate, but
the ghosts of Peterhead linger on.
I know.
The only thing that I can think of to defend him a little is it can't be easy coming into an already struggling side and then losing your best player, Martin Boyle, and then losing your second best player, even though he's not been at the races this season.
But was it as bad as they made out? Because they made the League Cup final.
No, I get that, but Martin Boyle is a huge miss for them, to be fair.
Of course.
That's what I mean, but that's the only thing I can really think about to try and defend him. But I'm in agreement with you guys. He's got to do a whole lot better than that one, winning 13 games for a team that finished 3rd last season as well. Is just, it's not the level, is it?
He's going to need to get a response on Saturday. Or the crowd are going to get even more on his back.
Yeah, and then next season he needs to start well as well, or the pressure will mount right on, and it wouldn't surprise me if, unfortunately for him, he was maybe relieved his duties or whatever. But I would like to see Hibs stick by him
me too.
until at least the end of next season. I mean, obviously results can't be that bad or they will see the door, but they've believed in him. They've got rid of a guy that brought them relative success.
Young
so they need to kind of
well.
Exactly, they need to let him rebuild it, and they need to try and let him put his stamp on the team personally. But back to Hearts, they got the second goal through Kingsley, who has had an amazing season as well, and then they get the 3rd goal again through Andy Halliday.
Can't stop scoring that boy.
What a finish again! Barry Mackay with a wee back heel to Andy, and then a brilliant finish topped off with a Morelos celebration.
Tiny, not the first time I've seen that, but yeah. Just fantastic. Delighted for Barry Mackay as well. Signing him up to a 3-year deal is hopefully going to be a fantastic bit of business. Double figures in terms of assists in the league now as well, which again didn't sign right at the start. I think it was September or something as a free agent that he signed. So it's been by far and away our best offensive player since coming in. And I just hope that we can find somebody to complement him on the other side.
Yeah, he's been absolutely sensational. You know how much a fan I am of wee Barry is.
He's worth the season ticket fee alone just to watch him.
He's a sort of player that you want to go to the football and watch.
Yeah,
he's a creative player. He's direct. He can beat a man. His first ball, his delivery is brilliant. His
His
delivery,
range of passing is excellent.
his range of passing is exceptional. The only thing he needs to add to his game is more numbers, more goals.
Yeah,
but he's got a couple of goals in the last couple of weeks, so usually be hoping he can kick on for that.
Definitely.
He's the sort of player that gets bums on seats but bums off seats as well with what he does on the pitch. He's a really good player.
For sure. So very positive result for Hearts. I think that solidifies them finishing fourth. Well, at least getting the European third.
Well, that's third mathematically secured.
Yeah.
So delighted. It's
a good
been a fantastic season.
And I know at first you were a wee bit pessimistic because
I
he
was,
probably
mate.
in
I
years
was.
gone by, and I don't blame you because in years gone by Hearts obviously were awful at points, getting relegated and
The
such.
Championship was a slog.
And it was a slog. So the way that they've kind of bounced back this season and finished third's been excellent. I mean, even if you go back to last season when Hibs finished third, it wasn't even as comfortable as this. It came down to the last couple of games. So Hearts have had a great season, and
back
it's
where
no
we
done
belong,
there.
I think.
Well, there we go. In your opinion?
I'd hope so.
But there was another derby, guys, and again we actually just watched the highlights again to kind of refresh our memories before coming on the podcast, and it was great, and it looked like Dundee United were going to run away with it, and then Dundee pulled it back and get a point. McGinley, how was your view on that game, son?
It was mental. I mean, you've got to shout out to the away fans that were in that corner. There was tons of them, especially for a team that's bottom of the league and really, really struggling to come out for that. I know it's a derby, but still to come out. It was a really exciting game, goals for both sides. Two really contrasting seasons for both sides of the derby.
Very much so.
But a good game. I think the best goal out of the lot of them was Charlie Mulgrew's goal. Don't know if it's a cross, don't know if it's a shot, but it wouldn't surprise me if he went for that one, if he meant that.
Yep, don't know if it's a shot, don't know if it was a cross, but we do know that Mark McGee is raging.
He's fuming, isn't he?
I seen Charlie Mulgrew's post-match after the game and it was just funny. He's a character, Charlie. But Mark McGee, on the other hand, I know it's a good point for him, but still for me it's a very weird appointment.
Especially because he came in and the first thing he said to the players was that you're not going to win a lot of games.
Could not
Talking
believe
about
that he came
instilling
out with
belief
that.
into a team that's not got a lot of confidence.
How is that meant to inspire you as a group of players?
Mark McGee, to be fair, I don't
From
think
the
he would
get-go,
inspire.
yeah.
Aye, exactly.
His
Fair point.
prerequisite in the job interview is like, Mark, you need to come in and we need to win a lot of games. And his first thing he says to the players is that, come on, if we're going to get ourselves out of this mess, you need to come in and start winning.
To be honest,
Is
he's
that-
Strachan's pal.
Aye.
That's the reason why he's got the job.
But
Bob
is that,
Balzac.
also, is that also preparation for the second tier? And with a more experienced manager, they'll hopefully bounce back first time as league winners? I don't know. Bizarre, like
Essentially.
even the amount of games that he was banned for as well.
6 games, aye.
And there was like 13 games left when he came in.
And then he got COVID, so he was out
Like-
for another game.
Baffling.
Yeah.
Absolutely baffling.
I think he's the first manager to work from home in football, honestly, I swear.
That is the way the world now, McGinley, to be fair.
work
football manager, you know what I mean?
No, I know.
I don't. If they go down, and I think they will go down.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's done.
I would worry having Mark McGee in the Championship. It'd be one of those ones that I think
Smashing phones left, right and centre.
That's sad. Phone bills left. and
Get
right.
that tea.
He'd be in the car phone warehouse every second day repairing phones.
Here, Ronaldo.
He'd be worried about Dundee because they would be maybe one of those teams that would go down twice. He'd maybe think they're too good for the Championship and struggle. Aye.
The only thing
You've got a point though. So
exactly, that's what I was going to say. The only thing about Dundee as well, for all that we think that they're kind of down and out, they do keep surprising us now and again with results. Like, this is a huge game. I think the stadium looked near enough full. The atmosphere was
Electric.
brilliant. It was electric. And to go behind 2-0, especially away as well, they must have been getting dog's boost, but they managed to kind of fight it back. But
And United are in European contention as well. It's not as though they're, totally useless. That United are, when they want to be, are a great side. So it's a positive point for Dundee, particularly given the position that they were in. But
Yep.
you just get the impression that they've left it too little, too late.
And it ended up being a good result for both, really, because Dundee United managed to get themselves into the top 6. They're now in 4th position. They'll really look to go and push for that 4th spot now. Really, they're only up against, Ross County and Motherwell, that's who they're up against. And there's only a point between them, so it's all to play for that 4th spot.
yeah, and a good debut season for Tam Courts. I know he's been a wee bit
Definitely,
up and down, but I mean, Where did they finish last season? Was it 7th they finished last season, Dundee?
I believe so. There was a period of time where they were kind of in the top
7th,
6 for a while, and then they kind of fell out.
Yeah. But
for a good spell.
I know he managed at Celtic Hearts for a spell, but for a bit of a novice manager to get 4th place in your first Premiership season, I think that's pretty good going.
If he can go and kick on.
Like United have had several shit years back in the top 6. They'll argue that's where they belong as well. So it's good to see.
Yeah.
Now that we've got that covered, we'll go over to the games that probably don't matter as much now.
Well, you say that. Pittodrie meant a great deal.
No, I'm not talking about they two. We'll leave they two. I was going to go to the Old Firm now, you know. I will start with Rangers. Obviously, they played on the Sunday. Celtic had went 9 points ahead the day previous with McGinley. We'll talk to us a wee bit about that in a second. But Rangers went to this game versus St Mirren. Genuinely, they need to win just to keep it alive, really. Although, in a lot of people's minds, they think it's done. But they went there. The manager made a lot of changes to his squad. He's been on record recently. I don't want to be too harsh on the manager, right? Because I'm feeling tender anyway. But he made comments during the week about squad depth and having to use players. And he was talking about Aaron Ramsey and saying how he still thinks he's a key player. But he thought he was that much a key player, he couldn't bring him on in the quarter-final. Yeah, Europa League. I didn't understand that, especially when he came off 60 minutes against Celtic as well. So I thought that was so strange. And
his signing.
Again, I know Rangers have went and have dominated and have looked really good. And Kemar Roofe scored a hat-trick, something he's needed. When given the service, we know how he's a good player at the end of the day, Kemar Roofe. He's clinical. If you give him chances, he's going to put it in the back of the net. And his goal return shows that. He's got the second best goals to minutes ratio in the SPFL at the moment. The only man I think ahead of him, again I could be wrong, is Giamakis. Giamakis, sorry, absolutely butchered that. Fella. Double G, but you know what you get with Kemar Roofe. If you give him chances, he's going to put them in the back of the net. And it was one-sided. It was a one-sided affair, and Rangers kind of ran away with it. But to go back to my point about the manager changing it up, bringing guys in, and you go and get a result like that, when he's talking about squad depth and all that, and I just think he's contradicted himself a wee bit, because if we go back a few weeks, he didn't make a sub versus St Johnstone when you've got a game at the weekend. So I just don't know. It's just a wee bit of a nightmare so far for Gio in the league, but at the end of the day, it's 3 points, isn't it?
It's a massive week for news as well. You think about the second leg and then the semi-final. It's absolutely massive.
Business end, baby.
Rangers need to go and win every single game. Obviously, like that's what you need to do anyway at Rangers, but they need to go and win every game now in the league and really just try and put a wee bit of pressure on Celtic. But in most people's minds, this Scottish Cup semi-final is absolutely huge now.
All or nothing,
absolutely
really,
huge. And then you've still got the Europa League game at home, where you'd still fancy Rangers to go and put a good show on, hopefully, and with their fans behind them, try and get themselves to a semi-final. Jesus, a semi-final, I'd love that.
Against Atalanta or Leipzig, that one's one each, I think.
Yeah, evenly poised.
Yeah.
And Villarreal are still in the Champions League, so
absolutely mental stuff that. I've got to say though, last Thursday I was actually quite impressed with Braga. From what I've seen of them,
I thought they were okay.
Some nice passes of the ball.
I thought they actually weren't as good as when we played them the first time. Because
really?
I remember obviously in the first leg they absolutely played Rangers off the park for 60 minutes. It was 2-0 after like 60 minutes or something like that, and Rangers managed to pull out the bag and score goals against them. That is one of the big things with Braga for me. Like, for all they can score goals themselves, they are a bit vulnerable at the back, and I just don't think Rangers exposed that really in the first leg. It was a bit of a shit game, to be fair, wasn't it? Did you see it? Did you catch any of it? I think Braga had like 6 shots, 2 on target. Rangers had like 6 shots, 0 on target. It wasn't a great game. We almost came out of it going like that. How are Rangers going to score goals? So obviously that was a positive for Rangers getting the full goals. Yeah, exactly. So
and Aribo as well.
And Aribo, exactly.
And that's been a criticism, hasn't it? When they've played midweek, that the Sunday performances are often lacklustre. But at this stage of the season, all that matters are results, and that's a very convincing win that gives them that belief ahead of the second leg.
Absolutely.
On Thursday night.
So let's go over now to Parkhead. It was an even more convincing win, McGinley. I'll let you give your summary on that.
It was 7 goals. It could have been 10, 11, 12. Honestly, if we were more clinical, it would have been. It's incredible to even say that, but that probably the best performance I've seen in years from Celtic. Start to finish, we kept it going for the 90 minutes. You see the spread of goals. We scored our first goal in the 8th minute and then our last goal in the 78th minute. So it's a nice wee base nearly the whole 90 minutes we were attacking. It was absolutely brilliant. We seem to be getting better and better, which is brilliant when we're coming into the business end of the season. I know I'm still nervous about the league, but that's just due to me being nervous anyway when it comes to Celtic and this sort of thing. But we're in a really, really good spot. 6 different goal scorers in the 7 goals. All of them were... I'm just looking through them all of them were Ange Postecoglou signings as well, which is absolutely brilliant recruitment. And I'm delighted. I mean, they're all making an impact, so it's brilliant. But the man of the match on the day was given to Maeda, and he absolutely deserved it. That guy's like a Duracell bunny, honestly, just running for 90 minutes constantly, and he's getting goals now as well. But it's not just his attacking, it's his defending as well. Even last week, I thought he really nullified Tavernier down that side, because he was pushing up and he didn't allow Tavernier to push on.
You crave that pressing from the front as a fan though, don't you?
Yeah. He's pressing.
100%.
He loves pressing. He's just an Ange disciple. That's him. He loves the way Ange Postecoglou plays, and you can see why Ange wanted to bring him in the summer, but he didn't want to leave his Japanese side, Yokohama F Marinos, because they were still in the title race at that point. So
was that Postecoglou's former club? Because I know that Kyogo wasn't.
He was in Vissel Kobe.
That's right. Yeah.
He'd signed what's his name, Maeda before for Yokohama, so he knew him really well. But he's been an absolutely incredible signing, and Hatate as well. To be fair, I was glad to see him getting back on the score sheet, because he's had a wee bit of an off couple of games. Maybe it's just due to tiredness, getting used to it, and the fact he's already played this season. But it was a great goal, and
that's what a lot of people have forgot as well. Like a lot of these Japanese boys coming over, they've already played a full season, which makes it probably even more impressive. The fact that Maeda's still running now. He's still running about. Do you know what I mean? He's still. And I think that was a good point that you made as well about Maeda kind of nullifying Tav to a certain extent, obviously in the Old Firm game, because that's why I thought Maeda would start, because he is imperative to that press and such. So for all that, I know he was getting a wee bit of criticism, he's still so important to Celtic, and obviously if he can get goals as well, that'd be important. On Hatate, see in the Old Firm game, do you remember that moment when he was, obviously I've not been able to talk about it, do you remember he was chasing Aaron Ramsey?
Was that when
Aaron Ramsey looked like he was running on the fucking moon, and Hatate was like chasing him, but he wasn't even getting any closer. That was one of the weirdest moments in football I've ever seen.
Do you know what, he's a 60-minute man, but for those 60 minutes you're going to get one hell of a performance, especially when he's on form.
He and Rogic loved that performance for an hour, and then
that's true. But do you know what,
we can talk about Rogic.
We took him off at half time because we knew the game was over, and we brought on who I would say is arguably a better player in Matt O'Reilly, or he's going to be a better player than Rogic. I mean,
I don't see it yet,
for
bro.
45 minutes he was incredible.
I get O'Reilly's a good player, but I think Tom Rogic, I don't think we can compare them just yet, because Tom Rogic is tried and trusted, and his performance again, even going back to the Old Firm game, was different gravy. It was brilliant.
But I think when all is said and done, Matt O'Reilly he'll probably have a better career out of the two of them, I would say. But to be fair, he's 21 and he's doing. Ooh. I mean,
how does he get a bit? Just out of curiosity, before we move on, how does Matt O'Reilly have a better career than Tom? Like, how does he do that in your eyes?
He'll be playing down south in the next 2-3 years, I'd say.
Oh, that's a controversial statement.
That is a bit controversial.
He's honestly that good, and I think he's
down south for who?
I don't know.
What's his level?
What's his Premier League? Honestly, he's that good.
No, but I mean, like in terms of Prem, like a Europe chasing Premier League team.
Probably, yeah, like a Leicester or Wolves or something like
that. Brendan Rodgers registering an interest, maybe.
Oh, please don't. He's already looking at Juranovic. I don't need that in my life.
And Carter Vickers, if the papers are to be believed as well, is he not?
Yeah, but we want him as well. Can he just stay with us, please?
Sorry, I'm only winding up.
Season, but Matt O'Reilly, just $1.5 million from MK Dons is an absolute steal.
I like the fact that, again, you'll need to fact check me maybe on here, but I like the fact that he was offered a new deal, or he was offered a move to somebody else. Like, was it Fulham? And
so he was a Fulham youth, I think.
Yeah, and he was basically told you when he play much and such, and he decided, nah, that's not for me, I'm going to go somewhere and I'm going to play it. I like that attitude.
That's the thing, he was unattached for 6 months during the first lockdown because he didn't have a team, so he had to go out. I actually spoke to him in a press conference, and he was saying that he had to go and train with his girlfriend at the park just to keep himself in shape.
Jesus Christ.
So he went.
That's remarkable.
he actually took MK Dons because he saw the way that they play that would fit his sort of qualities as a player. He was only there like a year.
Was Robbie Nielsen that laid in the blueprint there, wasn't it?
Learning off the
For sure.
But no, 7 goals, was delighted with that on Saturday. Abada scored the last goal. That is a great goal because it's Kyogo that plays the ping to Maeda. Maeda takes the touch and then Abada just bashes it in. I mean, for
And
his
another
first
bonus
season,
to have
Abada.
Kyogo back as well, isn't it?
Amazing. I mean, the only problem with Saturday was the fact that both Turnbull and Giacomakis came off with injuries. And it's
It's a
not
shame for Turnbull because he's just back in the team as well, isn't he?
and especially Giacomakis as well, because he's been struggling with injuries this season as well. But I'm hoping it's only just a slight knock and he can get back in time for the run-in.
Let's finish now on the last 2 games that were very, very important for who's going to actually finish in the top 6. I think we'll go to Aberdeen versus Ross County first. And I want to come to you on this, Adam.
Yes, mate.
What was your thoughts originally going into the game and how you maybe thought that it would play out, and how did it actually play out?
I saw a fair few folk that were confident that Aberdeen would go on and win the game. I didn't get that impression given their draw at Dens the week before. I feel as though now looking at it, the reason why Aberdeen have fallen in that bottom 6, like that was the game, the Dundee match for me. You take the lead twice, particularly so late on in the game, against a side that by all means the 3 of us probably deem relegated already, to then chuck it away like that. And County are a good side. The run that they've been on is absolutely remarkable, considering that they hadn't won a game after 10 Premiership matches. I think they'd drawn 3 and lost 7 of the first 10, and now here they are, nicking top 6. It really is a remarkable run that they're on. And I take it back to even Hearts matches against Ross County. We've drawn twice up in Dingwall, and they were very unlucky not to get something at Tynecastle on Boxing Day. I actually think that they're a really entertaining watch. So I was really pleased to see Ross County do it. It's quite funny that it's at Aberdeen's expense, but Aberdeen, Jim Goodwin has a big job, and we're starting to see him clear out already. The talk of Considine, which I find hilarious. J. Emmanuel Thomas now as well released.
The jet is left.
The jet has flown away.
But where will he land?
Needless to say, it's a big job for Jimbo. And it'll be interesting to see who comes in at Pittodrie in the summer. Definitely.
The thing that's so weird is the fact that Stephen Glass was brought in at the start of this season was sort of a rebuild job, because Derek McInnes had been there for years and years and years. Now all of a sudden Jim Goodwin's got a rebuilding job in his hands, because there's a lot of players that probably don't want to be there. You'd probably expect players like Ramsey and Lewis Ferguson to go away now. That you'd maybe to get some funds in for Jim Goodwin to bring his own players in. It's a weird one for Aberdeen, but I think they will bounce back next season, because I think Jim Goodwin's a really good young manager, but it's been an absolutely dismal season for them.
Yeah, I agree. I like Jim Goodwin as a manager, but pressure's going to be on next season. The demands up at Aberdeen. They expect you to win, they expect you to be at least in the top 6, so
vying for Europe, definitely.
Absolutely, especially with the funds that they've got available and
the plans
such.
for the stadium as well.
Yeah,
redeveloping the stadium. So.
Yeah, but they need to be. Do they need to be patient with Jim Goodwin, or is it just about results? Because we expected Glass to come in and to be given some time, and the Aberdeen fans were on him right off the bat. The chairman, Matt, had to come out and defend him.
The data.
Gave the data, and then Aberdeen actually picked up, and the data was proved wrong, and he was then relieved his duties. Is that a case of they maybe need to be patient, or do you think Jim Goodwin next season will just kind of kick on?
The thing is, I thought they were patient with Stephen Glass. A lot of people said that was premature, but I was like, I've been watching them this season. They've been absolutely awful. And you've got to just stop that when it comes to it. I mean, it's a bad look when you can see the sort of chief exec or the chairman and Stephen Glass are pure pally. That's not a really good sort of relationship to have going forward.
Only ends one way, doesn't it, once it gets professional.
They were right to get rid, and I think in the medium to long term it will be good under Jim Goodwin, but they just need to give it time.
Somebody else that was probably right with dismissing one manager and bringing in another was the Ross County chairman.
Big Roy.
For all that we're maybe not a fan of the manager, as a manager, he's come in, he's done a remarkable job. The tune that he's getting out of him now is sensational. Hungborough's playing brilliant. Charles Cook, arguably in the team of the season. Definitely up there. He's still top goal scorer at the end of the day, isn't he? So it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard to leave him out. And even guys like Callahan that they've added, and they've kind of solidified themselves at the back as well. Like, the job he's done there has been sensational, and to top it off, they go and they do that and they finish top 6. Brilliant for them.
I know Andy lost one of their best players in Jack Clark to... is it Jack Clark?
Harry Clark.
Harry Clark. Jack Clark plays for Leeds, that's terrible.
They recalled him, didn't he, and then reloaned him?
They reloaned him to Hibs, and he made his debut, last week or something?
That's right, against United.
But to lose one of your best players and still keep it going is really, really impressive. Malky Mackay's done a great job there, regardless of what I think about the guy, personally.
Yeah. And then the last game, I thought it was absolute drama, fireworks again. Bedlam. The goal scored by Ross County meant that Livingston pretty much had to beat Motherwell, and they started the game off so well. Odin Bailey scored the first goal, player that I think is a brilliant player. I hope he's in the league next season again. I hope they can get him back up on loan or whatever. And then Alan Forrest with a brilliant finish with 30 minutes to go. Again, another player who's had a great season. And
also, the heart of transfer talk, Alan Forrest. I think we're the latest club to register in interest. Dundee United were. Yeah.
See, that's a shame. The bad thing about Livy, whenever a player's doing well, teams can just come right in and they can just take them. But you've got to take your hats off for the recruitment. David Martindale and his backroom staff and whoever else is bringing these players in. Because season on season, I mean, I think both of you guys thought Livingston would be right down there where St Johnstone
has been relegated.
Exactly.
We both had them bottom.
The fact that it took a 93rd minute equaliser for them not even finishing the top 6 just goes to show you the kind of job that they're doing there. So fair play to them in that respect, but it will be an absolute kick in the teeth. The fact that Callum Slattery scored and then Ricky Lamy scored in the 93rd minute.
This is where the split's shite, isn't it? Because now Livy, essentially, they're not going to get dragged into a basement battle, you'd think. So it's really 5 dead rubbers.
They're probably going to end on higher points than Motherwell.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
The thing about these two sides is that they both have to basically change their starting 11 every season because of the way that their contracts work. Maybe less so now with Motherwell, because I know they've been able to keep players for a couple of years.
Yeah, they've got the money.
Yeah, so that's really helped them in that sense. But they have to rebuild a lot of their team every year. Yep. So the fact that they were both vying for top 6 is impressive.
It's an absolute sickener for Livy. Rather than potential European dreams, and instead they're having to play St Johnstone and Dundee.
But see, to be honest, a team like Livy, they probably don't want Europe. I know they'd probably want it for funds, but it would hurt them in the same way that I think it's hurt St Johnstone this season.
I know, but come on, like St Johnstone played how many games?
That's what it's all about, though, Ryan.
Fucking 5,
4 or 5,
4 games or something.
No, they had Galatasaray. Last Glens.
Aye, so 4.
Somebody else, maybe?
No, that was it. 4 games surely shouldn't affect you that much. I get that if you're playing.
Start of the season, though,
I get at the start of the season, but come on, they are dug meat. I think the biggest thing that killed St Johnstone was losing Kerr.
Loss of Kerr and McCann.
Yeah. Like, they were just so important. Your captain and probably your best player, and then also Witherspoon going out with injuries and such. Like, I think that's killed them a wee bit.
Chris Kane had a spell out injured, Stevie May had a spell out injured, and yet they've not been able to really. I think even David Witherspoon's probably their best player on his day. So to lose him for the vast majority of the campaign was a real sickness.
That was his first long-term injury ever. I remember an interview I watched.
Was it?
That's his first one, because he's been pretty consistent his whole career. Remember, he played for Hibs as well.
Yeah. They'll be hoping that he'll be hoping he comes back soon, because he'll be going to the World Cup with Canada. Witherspoon. True. So hopefully for his sake he's back soon and he gets to go earlier. Guys, that brings us to the end of the recap. We're talking about that. The next thing that I wanted to go on a wee bit about was the big games coming up. The Scottish Cup preview. Scottish Cup preview.
First time this has happened. These two ties.
There is a huge game for Rangers before that, obviously, where they play Braga at home. Just quickly, guys, how do you see it going, Adam?
I think Rangers will get the better of Braga at Ibrox.
I really hope so.
I think it'll be tight between the two teams.
Do you think Rangers have got enough in the locker at Ibrox with the atmosphere?
With the atmosphere, with the crowd on their side.
An early goal.
They'll be bouncing.
Yeah.
And that morale boosting win, obviously, in Paisley,
Got to say, that right back they've got, Jan Koto, He looks really, really impressive for the age of 19. Now, he was actually in Celtic. Sorry to bring Celtic into a Rangers sort of preview, mate, but he was actually at Celtic Park for a European game because we were about to bring him in for Man City.
Really?
He went and chose Braga instead, and we get Juranovic instead. So, I mean, it's worked out all right for us, but he would have been a hell of a player up here for sure.
Yeah.
He looked really good in that first leg.
The next Jeremy Frimpong.
Try and get him back next season. Not Frimpong, obviously. I think we're a wee bit priced out for him now.
I know, Jesus. But obviously, I'm hoping that Rangers go on the result, and I'm sure you boys as well will be backing Rangers for that Scotland.
Come on, the coefficient.
Come on, the coefficient. All that good work.
Don't want to use anywhere near a final, man.
All that good work Rangers done in Celtic.
We've actually got more coefficient points than you.
Won the Villarreal. Won the Villarreal.
No, we don't need that. Could you imagine if you won that?
You have got more coefficient points than us.
That would be the most Scottish football thing ever.
That makes it strange how you have got more coefficient points than us when you haven't won a knockout tie since 2003 or something.
But to be fair, they've played in 3 European competitions as well this season, have they not?
Maybe that's why. So it's like you get like pity coefficient points and stuff like that.
Participation points.
You'll not be caring. You'll not be caring anyway that he's went out of 3 different European competitions as long as you just get the league.
You're first to do something. No. There was other teams.
I know that was a lot of shite, wasn't it?
There's about 5 or 6 other teams that done it before.
Aye. Was it not a draw then? Was it a draw between you or no? Or did they go out before yours?
No. I don't know. I need to take that one to VAR, mate.
Why? Because you actually went into the group stage though. That's the thing, innit?
Aye, we were in. Aye.
So that's why other teams went out before you.
Aye.
Because they probably just kept some of that shit. They just kept getting beaten in qualifiers and all that part.
That's it, mate.
But obviously, I'm hoping that Rangers did a job. It would be huge to be fair, like getting a semi-final and then you're 2 games away for a final. Come on. I thought it was a once in a lifetime opportunity when I was in Manchester in 2008. I thought,
and against a couple of top drawer teams as well.
I know.
Yeah, that.
Talking some big boys.
And obviously the result of the weekend gives me a bit more confidence because I was just looking at that team like, where are the goals coming from, Gio? Where are they coming from, son? But getting that 4-0 victory is giving me a wee bit more confidence. So we will see.
If you go through, either tie would be good against Atalanta and Leipzig. They're both really, really attacking sides.
1-0 in the first one.
That's all to play for. I think Leipzig will just edge it.
Yeah.
Do you?
I think so.
Yeah. And Kunku's so good.
He's on fire at the minute.
He'll be away from Leipzig.
Both of them are good, though, aren't they? Like, both of them are top teams, to be fair.
Gasparini's doing some job at Atalanta. They're punching above their weight, I would say, as well. I mean, they were unlucky not to get something at Old Trafford, the group stages of the Champions League. That just shows
they were brilliant. They kind of just collapsed at the...
I think their centre-half went off at half-time or something, and then they just completely crumbled.
Changed the complexion of the game.
Yep. Demiral, was it?
When it comes to attacking, Atalanta are sensational, aren't they?
So quick.
Goals are plenty.
Yeah. And they lost one of their best wing-backs too in the summer, that Robin Olsen.
No, is it Gosens, is it?
Robin Gosens. He's a goalkeeper, Robin Olsen. I'm not even saying that.
I'm like, Olsen, West Brom, man. So we'll see how that one goes. Obviously, want to talk about the Scottish Cup, guys. Absolutely huge, huge games. Huge. I think we will go to the Edinburgh derby first. It is Heart of Midlothian versus Hibernian. I think Hearts going in big favourites, but at the end of the day,
they do. But that's what makes it all the more worrying, isn't it?
You not feeling confident, Adam? No.
I better watch what I say. You're just trying to plant this like clickbait.
Get your clips in. Get us more views.
Look,
how do you see the game going, Adam?
I think Ryan Porteous coming back is a big boost for Hibs. I will say that much. But having just consigned Hibs to the bottom 6, with the carrot being dangled of a game away from European group stage football, surely that in itself is enough of an incentive to get this over the line. And even, in Robbie's second spell, whilst I've been critical of it for the most part last season, we did get the better of Hibs at Hampden as a championship team. And now we've vastly improved on that playing squad.
And they had a better squad then as well.
Probably. So it's all leading one way, or at least you'd hope so. But it doesn't always work like that, so we'll see.
Do you know, I think I can see the game starting similar similarly than it did at Tynecastle.
We cannot get off to that same sluggish start again.
I think it might.
Oh,
Even in the League
don't
Cup
say
final
that.
against Celtic, Hibs had chances. Did they not go ahead as well?
They did.
Yeah.
They went ahead. So
For
A minute.
14 seconds or
aye,
something like that.
I know, crazy. But
Goal
they
to
seem
goal.
to kind of get ahead in games like this. I think so. I think they might come out. I think they might get the
Don't
first
you
goal.
dare.
Adam, I'm sorry to say it, but
Oh my god.
I think they might get the first goal. But I do think Hearts will come back again.
That derby, coincidentally, was the first time that Hearts have come from behind to beat Hibs at Tynecastle since 1989. Would you believe?
Jesus, but how many times have
Stats, mate.
how many
Stats,
times
mate,
have you had
stats.
to? How many times you had to come behind?
Well,
do you know what I mean?
That's true.
Probably not a lot, is it?
Nah.
Sorry, Hibs
But it's
fans.
still a corker.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that game, Ryan.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch that. Definitely. It'll be interesting to see who we play in the final, you know what I mean?
Have you changed allegiance again?
Who?
You?
Me? No,
You
I
Rangers fan now?
Never, mate. Never.
I thought you changed from an Albion to Celtic fan at one point. Did you know?
Albion Rovers?
You're not an Albion fan?
No.
I heard you had a season ticket.
No,
Two-
I only went to one game and that was 7-2 against Airdrie.
Was it not your first ever game though? And you says this is how I fell in love with football. I've got piles for sitting on the seats.
Well,
And
the
My
wee
first-
Rovers, was that your first love, right?
No, definitely
Surely
not. My first love was probably Pokemon or something like that. I was a late bloomer into football, but
nah, it's just slander for me. I like to just make stuff up.
just like to wind me
basically.
up.
Aye,
Absolute
I do it all the
nonsense.
time. I just talk nonsense basically.
Right, mate.
Just absolutely make things up. But yeah, it's a game I'm looking forward to as well. Absolutely.
The fact it's two derbies makes it all the more interesting as
Yeah.
well.
Like you
You
say,
gave
we've
us-
waited 150 years for this.
Jesus Christ.
Sensational.
Give us a wee bit of team news in regards to Hibs. Is there anything in the injury front or players coming back from injury from Hearts?
All right.
From your team?
Cammy Devlin's, I think, in contention.
Right.
Gary Mackay-Steven, they come off the bench at the weekend. I was bloated, to be fair. I was smashed. So had a fantastic day on Saturday.
Speak for yourself.
I think I think that GMS and Devlin could potentially come back in, but I don't know what he'll do with regards to selection, because he only made the one change, and that was Nathaniel Atkinson coming back in on Saturday. So
Hardy also limped
We'll
off,
see.
doesn't he? He
Yes,
had
he
a wee
did.
bit of a knock on his right knee, his right ankle or whatever. Do you think he starts the game? What's the news on him?
oh yeah,
If he's fit, obviously he starts the game, yeah.
Yeah, 100%. I get the impression that it was just, as a precaution, because again he was on a hat trick.
I know.
So
When I seen he was subbed, I was like, Nielsen, that's poor for your son. But then when he was
shocking.
injured, it's
I know.
maybe...
Circumstances
Then
arise, don't they?
I actually seen a video. It was for like a fan, and it must have been after and maybe hospitality. I don't know if you've seen this, but Andy Hardy's walking
I think I
towards the
sent you it
stage.
with the goal bonus.
I think you might have sent it
Yeah.
actually. So I'm just stealing your material here. But anyway, in this video, Andy Hardy's like limping towards a stage after hospitality or whatever, like doing an interview, and the interviewer asks him like, "What's
Wilson,
What's the
top man.
verdict on your leg with the limp or whatever?" And he's like, "Oh, my goal bonus is in my right pocket." So I like that for Andy. I like that.
Sensational, Andy boy. Love
Yeah,
that.
you'll be hoping he obviously starts the game as well with the form that he's in, and he likes the game at Hampden, or not? To be fair to him,
And of course, my man
He done
Benny
well against-
Beningham's out till the World Cup or beyond that.
poor Benny,
Oh,
another good player.
hurts. It
So we're
hurts.
unanimous in thinking that Hearts will get the W here, boys.
Yeah.
I just can't see a world in which Hibs do it.
Not me.
You never know. It's a game at Hampden, but
Come on,
they
boys.
just don't score enough goals, do they?
I think Maloney needs a win, but I don't think he's going to get it this weekend. So
Right.
it's a difficult job.
So you're effectively saying that we could kill Hibs' entire season within the space of 2 weeks?
Yeah.
Yes, pretty much.
The hopes and their dreams.
They shouldn't.
He's got a storer.
Do you know, with the squad that they had at the start of the season and that, Hibs shouldn't be bottom six. But that's what happened. Nothing is assured.
Nothing is guaranteed in
Nothing's
life,
guaranteed.
Ryan.
That's what I was looking for, mate. Thank you very
Yes.
much.
Well said.
Aye, Hibs being down there is a bit weird, but
Gandhi.
love it.
That's a quote from Gandhi.
Is it? Big
No,
Mahatma.
probably not. Right, the Sunday game.
The main
Rangers.
event.
Oh, ouch.
Rangers versus Celtic. Unfortunately, it's not a game that I will be at. Are you going, Ryan?
Yeah, I'm going. Get a ticket. I'm buzzing.
I could have probably got a ticket, but unfortunately I need to work. Poor for me, innit?
So,
Too, I'm working on the
Working,
Sunday,
man.
mate. That's it.
So I'll be working, I'll be watching the game on my dashboard whilst driving about. Hoping, obviously, for Rangers to get a result. So far, the Old Firms this season, we've had the first one at Ibrox, where it wasn't great quality, I thought, for both sides. 1-0, Rangers win from a set piece. Second one at Parkhead, after the New Year game, obviously delayed to the February.
Yeah.
Celtic came out like a train, won the game in the first half. And then Rangers obviously passed the ball about in the second half, didn't hurt Celtic. Third game, Rangers start like a fucking train to get the goal, but then Celtic kind of... But then still, even that game, I just thought there wasn't a lot of quality. Like, how many games are you... How often do you watch a game of that magnitude and you think nobody really in like the attacking positions had an amazing game?
There was me thinking it was only the Edinburgh derby that got some
I
criticism.
know, I usually
but
give it stick to for being basically
pretty
just...
Also, I need to say this as well, right? We need to get back to the old allocations.
Absolutely.
I am sorry. That game was absolutely shite. See that game? Right? I know Celtic were winning, right? I know you enjoyed it, but the atmosphere wasn't there. Because you're not competing against it.
No, there's got to be that compete.
Exactly. And for me,
need to stand.
honestly,
Get
right?
from the stand.
See in that second half, sorry to bring it back to it, but it might correlate or whatever, but see in that second half, right? Straight for the word go, I just thought Rangers aren't going to score here. Like,
Really?
aye, genuinely. How many times did Rangers get the ball out wide? And maybe that was Celtic's game plan to let that happen. But how many times did they maybe get in a dangerous position where in games gone past they could have hurt Celtic or they could have hurt other teams, where they've hurt teams in Europe and such. And it just, for me, in the stadium, watching it, I'm like, they are not going to score here. They're just not going to score. And the atmosphere wasn't there. There was a feeling around the stadium that wasn't going to happen. The Celtic fans were obviously singing, but like there was 700 of them. So they're almost like just there. It's just like a wee annoying thing at the side of you.
So we're like a wee mosquito.
Do you know what I'm saying though? Like it's not really, it's annoying you, but it's not the same as 7,000.
No.
Right? And even, I think that even directly goes into the players as well.
Yeah.
Because they want to, if there's 7,000 Celtic fans absolutely getting you it tight, right? If you've got something about you, that's going to make you
Stand up to it.
Stand up and be counted in awe. And it got to a point where it was just like, this is not an Old Firm game. This is poor. This isn't where I want this game to be.
Absolutely not.
Could you imagine somebody coming to their first Old Firm game and seeing that? Like, hearing that atmosphere?
I know.
Honestly, they would have thought it was pathetic.
This is the game that we market as well. It's the big game.
I know, mate. So, the Pebbles that beat Rangers
point,
need to get their fingers out their arses and they need to at least give the European allocations.
Both need to grow up, reach a compromise.
No, I get that,
Is it
but
going to be?
he can easily just come back at me and say, well, Rangers started it, so can I Celtic?
Rangers that started
Do
it.
you know what I mean?
No, I know. Like, look, everybody
So
knows
Rangers
that,
need to
but
be the ones-
Surely, amongst the two clubs, they
Yeah,
will
there's got
reach
to
some
be
sort of
there's
compromise.
got to be negotiations in the
Of course.
office.
But Stuart Robertson's come out and says that won't be happening like in
Why?
the foreseeable future because he's an arsehole. Basically,
he's not a very popular guy at Rangers. to
even
begin
right.
with.
I've got a lot of things to criticise the board for. I'm sorry this has turned into an absolute rant,
right,
but
mate.
people might enjoy it. Let me know in the comments as well if you agree or you disagree, or you think I'm talking crap. But I just think it's been so poor for the Rangers board so far this season. Even in the match day experience for fans. You go back to the flag day, right? There was nothing really done for the team. It just felt like an our game again, right? It was poor for them. The 150th year anniversary, Tifo. The Union Bears sorted that. They done all the funding. When they were made aware, obviously, that nothing was happening for Rangers in regards to it, apart from a crappy fan zone outside to celebrate, they were the ones who put it. They raised the money. They spent over 30 grand on the Tifos. They spent numerous weeks doing that and such to celebrate the club. And I just don't think these guys are doing enough of that. They're too interested in commercialising the club. They're constantly sending you emails for you to buy strips, to buy this. They're coming up with hospitality packages where you'll go to the Radisson and you'll fucking, do you know what I mean, pay all this crap.
Is that like how
And I
how
just
desperate
think-
are they for the dodo, mate? Is this what it comes down to?
Your bread and butter's your season ticket money though, so if you're not
You'd have
looking
thought
after
so.
if you're not looking after the fan there, then kind of pissing on your own doorstep, aren't you? Do you know what I mean?
No, you're
Really?
You would think
you're
that-
quite
I'm
right.
sorry to go off on a tangent there,
You'd
but
think
like
that
we
the
just
board
need
and
to
the
bring this
fans
game
would be-
back to what it should be.
You'd think that the board and the fans would be unified, especially in this. I remember the statement they put out a couple of weeks and they were attacking. Was it Club 1872?
Aye, Club 1872. I think I don't like him either. But anyway,
but the way that the fans took that, especially with everything going on with the friendly still getting talked about, it was just like it was a circus that you didn't need going into the Celtic Rangers game.
That can't help matters on the park either, does it? Really,
because it
with all
felt
the
through from the
commotion.
fans.
Yeah,
Because the
of
fans
course.
will get annoyed, and then and even another point I wanted to make, like you were talking about the atmosphere. I felt like Rangers would have went out and played the second half if not for that bottle incident. But the bottle incident had everybody standing about for 5-6 minutes.
I mean, that was pathetic as well. Obviously,
it
Kills
just
the
sort of
game.
killed the atmosphere. As if I think you would have went out similarly to how you've done in the first half. Maybe you would have got a rollicking off the manager, but it
But we'll
seemed
never
that
know.
5-6 minutes everything was just muted.
no, that was weird. I was at the other side of the stadium, so I was just wondering what was obviously going on, and then it kind of appeared on the screen, and I was like, what an arsehole throwing that, like, come on.
I mean, both incidents too. Cause
The guy's been caught. The guy's been caught and sent to whatever. So
I think it's a
um,
life ban then, or is it?
you would imagine so,
Yeah,
like fucking hitting somebody with a glass bottle.
certainly hope so.
You know what I mean? So
Shocking.
No place for that.
stupid, absolutely stupid.
Wasted for everybody else. as
Oh,
well.
100%.
I know it doesn't help the players in the park either. Your own team or nothing. But
and that's the thing, because the glass would be there for for your home players as well as the
I know.
opposition players.
I know. And we're
That makes
seeing
sense.
this too much at stadiums anyway. Like if you're in stadiums, don't throw in bottles, be
What
it
gives
plastic,
folk the
glass,
right,
whatever
man?
it is. Just
Exactly.
keep them away. Do you
No
know what I
need.
mean?
There's no need.
There's
They
no
need.
need. I mean, and stop running on the park and all try to get people's tops.
They're gonna.
Enough of your cardboard cutout signs.
I was
I
gonna
don't
say
mind
that as
interested.
well, mate.
I don't mind that necessarily. Like, see if it's a
Oh,
young kid.
no.
See if it's just a wee young kid. Like,
Just get it naturally off.
but see if it's like their dad or something in the background, like fucking make that shine, be man, and I'll
and
get
he's the one taking the photo.
the one of the worst ones was so a young fan got a Liverpool player's. I think it was Andy Robertson's, and then his dad was on selling it on
I
eBay
saw
for
that.
$2,000.
Like
So if it's just for a young kid, fair enough. But if it's for a fucking arsehole dad, so that he can
scumbags.
whatever, he can just bolt
Rematch,
or
fairly.
mum, whatever. Let's talk about this game then at Hampden. It's absolutely huge. Who's this game bigger for, Ryan? Celtic or Rangers?
Rangers,
Yeah, correct answer.
I agree.
because I think Celtic have basically wrapped the title up. So but there's there's always
He's
that
never
chance.
gonna say it,
it's,
is he?
it's for momentum. Because if Rangers go and win this game, then that could seep into the form of Celtic in the league. Celtic need to, or Rangers need to put that doubt into Celtic's minds.
Yep.
And I think they could do that with a win on Sunday. I hope that's not the case. But Celtic's next game after that's a tough game at Dingwall against Ross County. I don't really want to be going into that with off the back of getting put out of the Scottish Cup. So
No,
it's
you
a
do
massive
not.
game for you. But I still want to win everything that's on offer. I mean, it's
No, of course
incredible
you
that
do.
Celtic could be 2 games away from a treble when
At
we
the start of the season, we could all probably sit here and
Well, Hugh
concede.
Keevins was saying we were going to finish 3rd this season. He said
Hugh
Aberdeen. He said Aberdeen were going to finish 2nd.
See, I think Hugh Keevins needs to have a day off, honestly, or retire.
I was in the
Seriously.
same
Put
He
down
was
the
even-
Gan shug.
he
Come
was-
on,
he
it's
was-
worth it, mate.
He was actually even on the radio as well at one point. And don't get me wrong, when Gio came in, he kind of sheared the Rangers up at the back in that. And they were playing alright stuff, and I think he get 9 wins out of 9 in the league or whatever to begin. But he was on saying Rangers won't lose another game in the league and all that, and that's just come back to bite. I don't know why he would say that prematurely.
To be
Like,
fair, you did look quite intimidating at the start because you were winning
Yeah.
games, but it just took one result.
That
and
was
then
just a
kinda-
case of grinding out
We-
results, though, wasn't it? It wasn't like
Aye.
it was.
there was some
comprehensive
good performances, but then
Aye.
there was some solid performances,
Yeah.
like title winning performances, like going away to Tynecastle and getting the job done there and all that sort of
That's it.
stuff. But
Killed the
and
game
even
early
at
doors.
even at Easter Road scoring in the last 10 minutes or that sort of stuff, it showed fight. It showed they were trying to win this title, and then
Yeah.
they've ultimately, I think, kind of just thrown that away. But I just thought that sensational stuff. So the garbage in it, boys.
That's it.
The garbage.
We can
But
sell the game better than this.
Absolutely. But talking about sensationalism, 7-0 Rangers. It's going to finish.
7-0.
Nah.
Wow.
Wow, who's
On
the
FIFA?
goal scorers in those?
Tavernier, he'll score 7 probably.
7 penalties.
7 penalties.
There we go.
No, but
Who's the referee for Sunday? Get then.
hopefully beaten so we can get some bookings up.
Get the badge in beaten.
Get the badge in beaten. I'm looking forward to it, boys. Like,
Yeah, me too.
I know obviously it's a bit of dampener for me with the league and all that, but it's still a huge game. Like,
It's a Celtic Rangers game. That's
exactly, you've got the motivation
Season's
between
riding
your
on
teeth. You need to stop. Because ultimately, I'm sorry, Adam, but I think if Celtic beat Rangers, I fancy them to go and win the Scottish Cup. I'm sorry, Adam. I'm sorry, Adam. But so Rangers need to go and put a stop
Can't
to that.
deal with a heartbreak again.
They really need to. And it's absolutely huge for Gio. If he doesn't, and Celtic go and win a treble, pressure's right on at the start of next season.
Is.
Yep.
So it is an absolute abundance. How do you see the game going, Adam? Putting you on the spot here, mate. It's quite tough. It's quite tough to gauge, isn't it? Like really,
it is. I still think that the Thursday nights take their toll on Rangers, to be honest. But again, like the Europa, it's such a great distraction for them to have till a point. It's so bizarre. You feel as though if Rangers go through on Thursday night, they'll be in a much better place taking Celtic on. But Celtic having that whole week to prepare, they've not had that midweek fixture. I don't know. I really don't know. You could see it going to extra time.
I think they'll be in a
honesty.
much better place mentally, but no physically. They will be absolutely fucked.
Oh, I'll be all over the shop.
If Joe Aribo plays on Thursday, please don't play him on the Sunday because he'll look terrible. He'll be shattered. But
it's a difficult one to gauge. You've got to be there, and you've got to see the opening 10-20 minutes before you can really make a prediction. I know you can make a prediction before the game, but you've just got to see how the game pans out before you say anything. It's going to be tight. I don't think this. I think it'll be settled by the odd goal.
I'm just sitting here and I'm thinking to myself, how do Rangers win this game? What do they need to do differently? For me, obviously they need to be more clinical in the final third. But I think they need to start winning this midfield battle again because
You need to stop Callum McGregor.
in years gone by, like Callum McGregor kind of goes quietly about his business. I don't think sometimes he doesn't do anything extraordinary.
Just a tidy footballer.
He knows what he's doing. Do you know what I mean? But for maybe the last so many old firms, I think Rangers were unbeaten in like 2 years or something like that, in the old firms, and it was always won in the middle of the park for me. Rangers always dominated the middle of the park, and that was against guys like Callum McGregor, like Scott Brown, like iconic Celtic players.
Tom Rogic as well.
Tom Rogic, he never even had a sniff at that point. So I think Rangers really, I think it's so important that they dominate in the midfield. And how do they do that?
Is that bringing Kamara back into holding midfield?
See, I think
Lundstrom might be out.
Lundstrom looks like he might be out.
Was he taken off the weekend?
He was taken off at the weekend by an injury. Phil Hollander was taken off as well. I'm gutted for the big man because I don't know exactly what's happened to him. No, and he's a good player and all, but he's just been very unfortunate. He's out again and all, but Lundstrom will be a miss because he's been starting most of the games. But obviously some people might not like it, but I think we need somebody in there like a Stephen Davis. I really do, but I don't think Gio will touch him. I don't know, for some reason doesn't he rate him.
Barely featured,
He's
isn't he?
barely featured. He made a comment a couple of weeks ago that Stephen Davis has never been fully fit in all the time that he's been there or something like that. But he's went away and he's represented Northern Ireland. He's came in at the weekend. He's done all right. I don't think he'll touch him, but I think as a player like that, we need somebody kind of take care of the game. You might need to turn the burnt chip down there. Bro, turn the burnt chip down. Sorry, we're getting a wee bit of feedback for our neighbours. They're playing the burnt chip.
That's why I laughed halfway through. I know. I was trying my hardest not to.
I was trying to focus on Div's face.
We've got an apprentice in today, so
I can just hear the sideman.
he's slacking a wee bit. He's watching Cal Freezer now.
Got off to such a promising start as well.
I know. I've just completely lost my train of thought.
Sorry, mate. That's my
But no, I know he's not going to do it, but I miss the times where there was somebody in there like a Stephen Davis. It doesn't necessarily need to be him. Obviously Ryan Jack can do that and all, but I think Stephen Davis, for his kind of game IQ, his experience and all that sort of stuff, I would have loved to have.
Wonder if Aaron Ramsey will get the nod on Thursday. To then if he sits out
he will play
again,
on
will he
Thursday.
then get?
He has got to play on Thursday.
This is the games that he was brought in for.
I know, exactly.
But it was. I just find it weird, the whole Ramsey
Do you
situation.
think he was a
so
Gio
strange.
signing? Do you think he was a Gio signing?
He was in the door for a couple. Obviously, Ross Wilson
You'd have
identified.
thought so.
If you're turning your nose up at, I don't know.
I really don't know. We don't know.
We don't really know. But
Do you think he'll be there next season?
well, there was reports coming out in Italy that Rangers are trying to get the deal done. But if Obviously, if Rangers can get him at a cut price on his wages and the manager's going to play him and the manager likes him, then obviously you sign him. Like, that's a no-brainer.
Season, I take it.
Aye.
Yeah.
I've got a sick feeling. It's just in the pit of my stomach that.
Don't get him.
Why am I thinking that Gareth Bale's going to be at Rangers next season? I don't know why.
Wow.
Because if Ramsey's there and Gareth Bale is going away in November, if Wales get to the...
That would be mega, because the talk is Bale would only sign somewhere for a short term.
Because Cardiff and
Thing, isn't it?
Swansea
Yeah.
were linked as well.
Saw that.
So
Fucking hell, Bale.
I don't need that. I don't need that in my
Bale's
life.
got enough money, he can just do some voluntary, but fuck's sake, I'm not paying him any his
That's
wages.
it.
Gareth
Plenty
Bale
of-
and
plenty of
Ryan
golf-
Kent running at you on the flanks.
plenty-
Gareth
Right.
Bale comes to Rangers. Honestly, I don't see that
Plenty
happening,
of
mate.
golf courses up here.
There is, to be fair.
Very complimentary of Rangers in his Wales pressers as well. Was
worries
your
me.
Gareth?
It worries me because even
Imagine
last
that.
season he looked good
Imagine
for
that.
Tottenham in a really bad Tottenham team.
I know. Imagine Gareth
It's
Bale.
only peaks and troughs though for Bale in that Spurs team.
Surely
no.
Gareth Bale's the biggest signing ever if he comes.
The biggest one since Ramsey and since Gaza.
Aye.
And
No,
and-
but
and
no, but
do you know, all of our,
No.
all of our signings just get
But-
overlooked. You know what I mean?
What would your biggest signing be? Robbie Keane.
I think Joe Hart's quite a big signing as well. I know he wasn't in the greatest
Still a
spot,
career, to be fair.
but 75 caps for England.
Yeah.
In
it's
terms
crazy.
of a career,
How did he manage that?
He's a good goalkeeper.
No, he is good. He is good to be
And he
fair.
has improved. He's improved us.
He's
so
found his
much.
confidence again. He's found his home. He's found his home. But
He's back.
Gareth Bale, mate,
Sorry, I just felt like I
he
needed to
trumps
get it out.
every one of them, barring Gaza maybe. But he probably
he does.
He's,
He does.
Gareth Bale's probably the best British player of all time. Would that be Chipman saying that? For his achievements alone.
No,
Kenny Dalglish is up
I don't
there.
Oh,
George
King
Best as
Kenny.
well. In terms
Nah.
of modern,
Three Champions
In
League.
modern football has got to be Bale in it.
Modern, certainly.
Like
aye.
I'd put Wayne Rooney up there though as well, to
Champions
be
League
fair.
final
But I know-
goal,
I
that
know-
Copa del Rey final goal
Yeah.
themselves.
I
That's
know,
one of
obviously,
my favourite goals ever.
Unbelievable.
I know Wayne Rooney obviously was absolutely incredible, but just for the mere fact that even when he was at Tottenham, he won 2 Player of the Years in the Premier League in a row with Tottenham, who were gum particles. Then he went
Under
to
Poch.
not
Not
no,
Poch.
Harry Redknapp, wasn't it?
Harry Redknapp.
Oh,
and then
AVB.
AVB, I think. Remember the goals he was scoring? That?
Scored it tiny for Spurs. What time to be alive?
Brilliant. And then he goes to Real Madrid and he wins the 3 in a row Champions Leagues. Like, sure,
La Decima.
for
and
me,
all
he's
that
number.
shenanigans.
He's got to be
Okay.
number 1 just for achievements or whatever. But
Oh, he's a good player.
even ability,
Don't
he's
want
up
him
there.
anywhere near Ibrox, to be fair.
It's not happening anyway, so I don't know why you're tickling my ball sack with that.
Where's that come from, McGinley?
I'm just thinking the Wales connection. If
With
Ramsey's
Ramsey.
there, then Bale might go.
The two of them just on the randan, constantly injured and
I don't need that in my life.
but injured, just chilling there.
I'll take that.
Or the manager just going, "Oh, I don't think I'll play Ramsey. I think I'll save him for St Mirren at the
off.
weekend."
Gareth, get yourself warmed up.
Aye. Ramsey, do I fancy you to finish this 90 minutes against Celtic in a must-win game? Nah, I'll rest you. No, for the next game for St Mirren in 10 days. We'll rest you for that, bro.
Second start pad. No, I'm joking.
Second step pad. Jesus Christ. It's going to be a fascinating game. How do you think the game's won for Celtic then, McGinley? Won and lost, maybe?
I think the midfield, I would say. As
You think the midfield enough?
Yeah. If Cal McGregor gets the best of use again, then I think there's only one winner. And I feel,
He does it in a weird way though, Cal McGregor.
I mean, that
in
equaliser,
winning
you
the
look at the
midfield.
way the equaliser was, he just pushes forward past Ramsey. It's incredible. It's like leading as a captain. Now, there was a lot of doubts coming into this season.
100%.
Cal McGregor isn't a captain.
Made it his
Even-
own, innit?
He's all the doubters are gone now.
Yeah.
But he's a different sort of captain than what Scott Brown was. Scott Brown was a very much
He's a better
bravado-
player.
Oh, aye, absolutely. Yeah, I think Callum
For a
McGregor's one of the
start.
best talents Scotland's produced in the past 10, 20 years.
Lovely
he's been
footballer.
I think he's been absolutely phenomenal. But aye, the midfield will be so important, but the wings as well. I want Jota to turn up against Rangers, please.
Yeah.
He's not really done it so far. He's had 2 games. He was really quiet in the February game at Celtic Park, and then at Ibrox. I know he got the cross. He put the cross in.
Jesus
The
Christ,
cut-
that thing almost went into orbit. Why did the goalie no coming? I don't. It doesn't matter.
But it was one of those ones that ricochets and then.
I was trying to see it, and the floodlight was getting mine, everything.
Carter Vickers scores, but
But he still got to go, don't he?
yeah, it's got to that point that I mean, the first half of the
He's
season.
due a performance, but isn't he?
Oh, aye, absolutely.
Ryan Kent's due a performance in order. He
that's
always would turn up in these games, but in the last couple, he's
Big
not really
pitch
been
at
at the
Hampden.
races.
Big pitch at Hampden though.
That's
So,
right.
But you've got to say that would favour Maeda as well, or Abada if they choose to play him.
Okay, Ogo.
And
your boy
Maeda will
Juranovic, he
cover
was quite
every
quiet in the last
blade,
game,
won't
but he's a good player.
He had a really, really bad start.
Yeah.
Kent just got him on the overlapping and
Tricked him.
aye, but he came on to a game. But I thought on the other side, Greg Taylor was phenomenal in the last game.
He done okay. He had a wee bit aggro with Ryan Jack as well.
Aye,
Tweeting were arguing,
Greg
getting into the
Taylor.
tunnel and all that.
That's how you know Ange Postecoglou's doing a good job when Greg Taylor's made to look
he would
competent.
love a
He's
goal at
getting-
Ibrox. He's a
he's getting a wee tune at him.
Rangers
Yeah, I
fan,
heard
so
that.
Greg Taylor, he was having a wee bit aggro with Ryan Jack. Something happened in the part, and the two of them were arguing, getting off the part, and then McGregor ran in and grabbed Taylor. So just on your captain's point, I never understood the argument, he won't be a good captain. I've always seen captain.
aye.
I've
Captain
always seen
material.
that.
There's just
I've
this
always seen
look-
that in Callum McGregor. Even in interviews you hear from him. Look who the guy that came out every interview last season when Celtic were
Very
awful
true.
was Callum McGregor. He
Face the
stood up
noise.
to it. Do you know what I mean? And then even
He
this season, after Celtic scored the second goal at Ibrox, he was one of the only players in the park, including the Rangers team, that were like let's just keep this kind up. And the Rangers team weren't doing that. So yeah, I've always seen captain tendencies in that boy, but
He's a really, really good player, and the fact that
it's
we've
got to be a
got
great
him,
game.
aye, the fact that we've got him long term as well. He signed a deal last year, so it looks like he's going to spend the rest of his career at Celtic.
Hopefully
which
watching
is-
that with intrigue, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Right, before we touch a bit on the lower leagues, a wee prediction for yourself, Adam,
For that semi,
for that semi.
Celtic in extra time.
Don't do that to me.
Bit like a Yelovich one.
Oh,
Oh, that was my first Celtic Rangers game.
Was it?
it scrambles.
Vladimir Weiss with the quick free kick.
No.
Didn't like that wee guy at all.
Nostalgia. Sheer nostalgia, that. But yeah, Celtic just in extra time.
Jesus Christ.
Will we
Sorry,
win it, will we
mate.
win it by a couple in extra time though? Or was it just the one goal? Because they've obviously played on the Thursday. They could even go extra time penalties on Thursday. So
Fuck you.
That's true.
Jeez.
I was sole goal. Sole goal. Yeah.
Well,
I'm gonna go Celtic win.
I'm going to go Rangers win, obviously.
Nice.
Got to back your horse, haven't you?
Absolutely. Although my horse at the Grand, I will not get into that one because they fail.
Listen, if anybody picked that winner, fair play.
What was the odds?
51, I think. Or something.
Wow, somebody's rich right now, not me. What was that noise? Was that?
I don't know. It was like a laser or something.
Sounded
a wee-
like a
a wee
fox.
whirring, wasn't it?
It sounded like Fox. It
Is
was
that
at the
Fox?
front door.
Kendall.
In front of Adam. He was scared to come into the building to record today because it was a fox.
Absolutely bricking it, mate.
He beat me hard and everything at like 11 o'clock at night. We were shiting ourselves. Right, let's fly through the Championship and League 1, League 2 and whatever quickly because we're running out of time and it's 1:45 in the morning. Jesus Christ, what are we doing with our lives?
Give
Air
me
United,
content. Give me-
absolutely.
Correct, well said, mate.
So like, comment and subscribe. After I played fives for the first time in ages a day as
How
well.
was it?
How'd you
I
get on?
started dreadfully. I had a touch slip. Honestly, my touch was... Who's got a bad touch? Has he got a bad touch?
No,
Connor Salmon.
no, it was a bad start.
In the
It was a
first
bad
like
start for him.
5-10 minutes, my touch was terrible and I had finishing like SIBO and everything, mate. Aye. But then I grew into it. I think I scored 5 or 6, so
Love that.
kind of grew into the game.
That's exactly what it's all about.
That's
that
the
mentality.
I
That's
finished
the league
as well.
mentality.
I finished strong.
That's it.
So hopefully next week I'm a bit better. Air United 2, Inverness, Caledonian Thistle 2.
They're going to finish in the playoff place. There you go. And I hope they get relegated to League One. Because I want to go
Wow.
along to some League One game. I think League One next season is going to be absolutely tremendous. So I'd love to see Ayr go down so that I can nip along to Somerset. and
Because you're
catch a
an
couple games.
adopted Air United
Wow.
regular.
I wouldn't say regular. I've been about 7
jumped in,
times.
'cause you
I think
stay
I've
in there,
seen,
didn't you?
I've seen Ayr win once. Yeah, they're not great. But I think, yeah, it's a massive game on Saturday actually because it's the Pars against Ayr at East End, I think.
Well, that's a big one.
And given Dunfermline's recent record at home, you'd probably just fancy them. So
They'll just pull
Big
away
clash.
from the south.
Yeah, but that could be a good point for Air United though, getting that wee point.
true.
It's still
Better than
4.
none, innit?
Is it still 4 points between the two?
I want to say 3.
3, yeah.
3
Is it
points?
3? Yeah.
What about the goal difference?
2 in it.
Oh.
I mean, that could get
Sweet.
obliterated in one game.
So 2-0 and that's... Well, 1-0
Well, no, I would be even.
and even. No, 2-0 and Dunfermline are.
You
Finally out there.
wouldn't put that past them. It's been such a disappointing season for Dunfermline because I had them as one of the ones that could potentially get promoted. They shouldn't be there.
You'd have seen a playoff potential
Yeah,
minimum probably for the
absolutely. Yeah.
Pars, but
it has not
We all know what
materialised.
happened.
I
Sorry,
think
It just
Dave.
didn't work under Peter Grant.
I might have took the Pars to finish second, I want to say. And I was thinking they could push for, push Kilmarnock.
I
But
was going to say, where on earth did you have Kelly then? Because you had Inverness early doors, didn't you?
so I did. I took Inverness, actually. So I must have had Pars maybe in third or fourth or something like that.
Nobody expected what Arbroath have done this
No.
season.
And Inverness were flying at one point, but they've kind
Yeah, they
of fell
were.
away as well. Talking about Kilmarnock, they obviously beat Dunfermline 2-0.
It's only a matter of time they'll
I
wrap
think
that
it-
up against Arbroath, won't they?
I think so, but it was so important for Arbroath to get back to winning ways as well, and they won 1-0 away to Hamilton Accies,
Good
which great result for them because it
We're
opens
just
up a wee
hoping
gap.
that they got through the playoffs, didn't we?
Aye,
That'd be
St
sensational.
Johnstone, man, get them to John Fleck
Going to McDermott Park.
Get them.
No thanks.
out the building. The final game in the championship was Raith Rovers 0, Morton 1. What
Your
a
man, Dougie Emery. What a job he's doing.
fucking brilliant! Eh?
Unbelievable.
Absolutely sensational for the boy. He
I
was
thought Morton were going to go down this year.
Doug Emery was on a podcast in here.
Was he?
I was sitting there in that chair. That's how I was sniffing it when you was. He was sitting there in that chair on doing that podcast. I don't know whose podcast it was, but he was in here. We're terrible, aren't we? We've got a good podcast, but we just don't have any guests whatsoever.
We're
Just
the
us three.
entertainment. We're the entertainment.
Aye. The amount of people that have been in here on our podcast and all that.
We'll make some calls.
Do you know Lee
We've
Sutherland?
got some stuff up our
TikTok?
sleeve.
Lee Sutherland for TikTok.
No.
He's a man. He's a man for the lands of Scotland. He was in here on a podcast. I know I love him. He's some man, but he was in here.
You love your TikTokers though, don't you?
I love TikTok. Aye.
Hardly ever on it, mate.
It's fucking funny.
Yeah, neither.
I think that's the edge for me.
TikTok's funny.
Aye.
But wee Dougie, brilliant job for him. 1-0
Morning,
against.
Sean.
Yep, Robbie Muirhead with the goal, and they're actually only 3 points behind Raith Rovers. Just goes to show you, because they were doing amongst it and all, weren't they, at one point?
Yeah.
So they've been doing really well. Let's move on to League One, which I never realised how close it still was with Cove and Airdrie. I do think that Cove will win this league, but Airdrie
They got through a tough spell because I think they played the 4 teams directly below them
Yep.
all away from home, and they've come out of that with 2 wins, 2 draws, so they're still 5 points clear, I think.
Absolutely,
I think
and
it's
I'm
sure
sure they scored in stoppage time as well to equalise against Airdrie a couple of weeks
thing. Yeah,
ago.
was it Fraser Fivey, that World Day?
Aye.
An absolute cracker.
Late on. He's a player that shouldn't be playing League One, but he's done there.
An FA
with
Cup
Cove.
winner down south with Wigan, and he's playing for
Was
Cove.
he? Aye.
Aye.
Didn't even know that.
Yeah.
But they beat Falkirk 2-0. Falkirk are just dreadful. Like when
Dave's going to be happy that they can now no longer, push for that playoff place.
Nah,
That's
they-
them consigned to another season in League One.
No,
They're like
they're-
the Scottish Sunderland Falkirk, aren't they?
They
aye.
were just an absolute nightmare.
I like Falkirk are that team that you see and you go, I think I'll pick them in my cup because it's like it's Falkirk in League One. Like
Aye.
surely, I do it all the time with Sunderland and Portsmouth and all that, and then they just and
Wigan
Bolton,
are another.
Bolton and all teams like this. Like Falkirk are fastly
Teams that you'd
becoming that.
Seen 10 years ago, you were like, they get a
Absolutely.
result.
I mean, we were
Yeah.
Cove Rangers 10 years ago and they've just went up to Falkirk
Absolutely.
and scudded them. And I bet you a speed bump for Airdrie. They drew 2 each with Montrose. Not the worst result, but
No.
obviously if they're trying to push Cove for this title, they really needed to win that game, Adam, didn't they?
Yeah, you'd say so. But again, they'll probably fancy their chances in the playoffs.
I think they'll go up.
Yeah, I could see that definitely at Ayers' expense. I really hope it's not a Dunfermline. It's
Or
not just saying
Dunfermline.
that for
I think
Dave,
they'll
but
beat Dunfermline Order.
oh
Aye.
no, Ayr will get dragged into it. I'm confident.
You think so?
They're pretty poor,
We'll see at the weekend, won't we?
but we will.
So that was what was happening up at the top of the table. Down near the bottom, well, East Fife are pretty much
They're away.
I know. They get beat 1-0 off Queen's Park, who are still in the playoff positions, I believe.
Yeah, they've secured that now.
They've
Yeah.
secured that now, so that's big for them. They can try and maybe just get a bit. Obviously, they'll want to go up or whatever, but it's a good experience for them as well. I'm sure next season they'll try and kick on.
Be
not be the
amazing
worst
if Owen
thing.
Coyle stepped into that as a championship club, but
It'd be crazy.
It'd be tough.
You just never know. But just the way their form is, it's a wee bit up and down. I
Yeah.
don't see them doing that. But
And yet they were cruising the top of League One for
I know.
ages.
Draws have killed them.
was it no the
Yeah.
break?
17 draws.
Was it no after the break?
I think,
It
yeah,
was,
maybe.
wasn't it?
Aye,
They had like
that sounds about
an
right.
extended break, and when they came back, they just won the same team.
fell like a stone.
Probably because their part is dreadful and all, to be fair, but
Well, you say theirs. Thistles.
I will their adopted part. Down near the bottom of the league, we had Alloa versus Clyde, where Alloa actually beat Clyde 1-0. Good result for them. It's almost dragging Clyde down into this relegation, second bottom
Under
kind of
Big
spot.
Chipper there, another quiet promotion contender next year. It's honestly shaping up to be a
gonna be brilliant.
fantastic division
League
next year.
One's always interesting.
Yeah,
There's
it
always
is.
certain stories.
League One's probably been the best league so far this season.
Best
isn't it?
league in the country there.
I need
We've
to try and
said
get
it.
in more games, man, but I've just not got enough time.
That's why
always
I'm,
look at them.
why
I'm
I'm
like,
hoping here get relegated.
Aye.
Nothing personal.
it'd be excellent. One of the big games in the league was Dumbarton versus Peterhead, where Peterhead won that. They really opened up a wee bit of a gap between them and Dumbarton, but obviously point isn't the worst result, but it just kind of leaves them in the same position, obviously.
Dumbarton back-to-back playoff places, it looks like,
Yeah.
in consecutive seasons. Not good enough.
So
The
as it
Suns.
stands, to be fair, down there, Dumbarton are on 31 points, Peterhead are on 35, so 4 points as a decent gap.
3 games to go?
We've played 33 games, so
Yeah, 3 games.
so 3 games to go. 2 home games, I believe, Peterhead have got as well, so they'll fancy themselves to stay up.
At Balmoor, yeah.
I think Dumbarton will probably finish second bottom there, but that wraps it up for League 1. League 2, again, pretty much Celtic Hearts have won the league. They've ran away with it, to be fair. We've got an Athletic Forfar, Edinburgh.
Oh.
They're all kicking about. Annan and Forfar are fighting each other for second place. Exciting times down there or not, innit? No?
I'd just like to have seen Gary Naismith stay at City, to be honest. Alan Mabry, I think, is taking the hot seat now, so I don't know. And again, we were talking about Queen's Park. Stirling Albion were another who have just dropped.
They were another one of my picks. What's happened to the Beanos, They did get a 1-each draw with Celtic, but too little, too
It's a
late.
dead dropper, though, isn't it?
It's a dead dropper, yeah.
Nothing to shout about.
Celtic are finished.
Big job for Darren Young. Hopefully, he gets it right.
I heard a couple of people
Yeah,
say
they'll
that
be.
they would quite like Kevin Thompson as Rangers manager one day.
You just
Quite a
never
good-
know, like Kevin
He's quite a good
Thompson.
speaker.
That was a great job for him to step into
Yeah,
for
absolutely.
his first.
Yeah, but Kevin Thompson, he's not made it a secret that he's been applying for other jobs as well. And I don't know if you used to know this, but in an interview, he exposed the fact that he got down to the last 2 for the Kilmarnock job.
Wow.
It was between him. It was between him and Derek McInnes for the Kelly job. So that just goes to show you.
McInnes there, though, aren't you?
Of course,
I know, but even to be in and amongst
big.
that, as you were going to
After
say
one
there,
season, aye.
yeah, that's very impressive.
So I wouldn't look past him being a Rangers manager in maybe 5-10 years time.
I mean,
Just never know.
knocked out the Scottish Cup holders, lest we forget as well. And
Did they not beat 2 Premier League teams, St Johnstone and something else?
No, because they got
Or was
battered
it a
off St
championship
Mirren.
team?
Who did they play in the round before St Johnstone? That's terrible.
I'm sure they put a championship team out. Like they were fighting against the odds.
Oh, was it not? No, I was going to say
McGinley's
Aki's, but
looking
it's
up.
not. Because
It's
Auchinleck
not.
put Aki's out. Who? Oh, that's going to annoy
But
me.
anyway, putting holders out with
But
something.
yeah, that is impressive. And like you say, I mean, they weren't really in any doubt in terms of their League 2 campaign, were they? So,
Mm-hmm.
you know, they were talking
Always.
about potentially going unbeaten at one stage.
Yep.
And
I've always
albeit
said it's
they've
quite
not managed to.
interesting
I
seeing these
guess-
new teams coming up. Not new teams, but you know, sort of these
Ambitious
emerging
teams
yeah,
that
ambitious
excite
teams.
you.
Don't
Aye.
mention Bonnyrigg Rose. Do not mention Bonnyrigg.
Bonnyrigg Rose will be with that next season for
Yep.
me because I think they'll come
Don't
up.
say that.
Cowden
Yeah, me
and
too.
Beef, I think
They are honking.
they're honky donkey.
Honky donkey.
I feel sorry for some of these teams, but like they've just been ran out of the gun. They're just not exciting anymore. They just
Comes from the top as well.
It comes
just
from the
being
top.
content to stay in the leagues.
Yeah.
Oh,
and Cove and
We need to
Even
change the
Queen-
pyramid, don't we?
even
yeah.
Queen's Park. You know they've finally like got a bit of batting, so they're fighting up the leagues. I know they're a team that excites me in the lower leagues.
Even
you've got your
Cove now are
Celtic,
virtually on the
Cove.
verge of becoming a championship team, and they were only in the pyramid about 3 year.
Mm-hmm.
So
Ambition gets you places.
It does
definitely.
indeed.
And a bit of dough.
Aye, pretty much. Doe does it. Fraser Five, you know what I mean? Cool. We are going to finish in a wee second, boys. But before we do, we have a quiz.
Nice.
Buzzing.
I don't want to try and press buttons because Ryan knows what they are, but is it this one? I bet your viewers heard that, but I didn't. I don't know what just played. It's probably.
Probably
That
hope
one
none of
looks
the
like it's
Rangers
still on, to
podcast-
be fair.
No, it's not. Stop.
Was it?
Wait, is it on? Oh, that's still
It
going.
looks like it's still lit up.
Sorry,
No,
guys.
it's alright.
What the hell was it just came
I
on?
don't even know, bro. I don't even know. Let's actually listen to it. Is this the one? Oh, it doesn't matter. Sorry, guys. I'm just pathetic. I'm just
We're
pathetic.
going so well today.
I know. It's
Right.
all got a pot in it just before the quiz.
Who would like to go first?
I'll let McGinley go first if he wants.
Would you
Yeah.
like to go first?
Yeah, I'll go first.
Right, okay. Let's go. First question for you, McGinley. Thanks as always to our boy Matthew for providing the quiz.
Top draw.
Always
He's
pulls
always
through.
there. He's
He always,
Yes.
He's there, and he
And
is
God bless him.
always there.
Good
First
Celtic
question.
knowledge of that quote. I like that.
He was there in his ordinary clothes. Whatever the fuck that means, I hate it that much. Right. Joe Cardo has played in all 4 leagues in the SPFL. True or false?
I'm going to say true.
What would you say?
False.
Oh, he's got you there. I
Has
thought
he?
it'd been your bread and butter. True.
Who's he
So
played in the Premiership for?
he's played for Ross County in the Premiership.
Is he?
I don't know if he played, but
I seem to remember him play. Aye.
he's played for Rafe Rovers in the Championship, Dunfermline
Pars,
in League
obviously.
1 and Celtic in League 2.
Oh, fair play. Good thing that wasn't my question.
One to yourself. Oh, fucking hell, you're getting a question about the Messiah. Current Morton boss, Dougie Emery, has picked up 1 Manager of the Month award since taking over the club in December last year. True or false?
True.
False. He's won 2. Stupendous. Absolutely stupendous from Douglas.
You love him,
Shafted
don't
here.
Love it. I actually love him, aye. I'd love to have him on this.
We could get him on this.
He's been here before though. He's got to be
We'll
like,
get him on this.
whoever it
Yeah.
was that got him on this, like, I hate you.
Might have exclusivity to a podcast now.
Yeah, I know. Second one for yourself. Misery compiler here potentially.
Oh, no.
Cove Rangers look certain to win League 1, but who's their manager?
Paul Hartley.
Yes.
It's an absolute gift from above.
Gift from
Sir
above.
Paul Hartley. Legend.
Jesus Christ. I remember
Legend
he
for both of
assaulted a ball boy at Ibrox one game. Eden Hazard.
I was going to
his
say Eden Hazard.
Talking about Hearts Hibs at Hampden. Could do with another one of those. Wee hat trick.
Paul
Jesus.
Hartley.
Oh, aye, he scored a hat-trick there, didn't he?
Oh, it's a
Paul
hero,
Hartley was
mate.
such an inspired signing for us, by the way.
Oh,
What a
legend.
signing.
An absolute
Won his
legend.
league, basically. Him and Robson.
I met
Sorry,
Paul
mate.
Hartley once.
Nice.
It was the Fall Cup manager. I was
It's in the key.
actually doing helping record.
Kate Nando's.
I wasn't the Kate Nando's, no.
Yeah, Halliday.
Him and Halliday, aye, on a date. That was his bird, and I was saying he was his girlfriend. It was Paul.
Let's get the hair for
He
it.
still had the locks, aye, he was on.
Zico, what a man.
Nah, he was the Fall Cup manager. I was doing helping film the kit launch video for Fall Cup, and we went and sat in the office and walked Paul Hartley. Do you know that one where you just double take them and you go, and then you realise it's whatever,
What a guy.
and he just sat down and was just talking about
An absolute hero. I'd love to get him on here as well.
that'd be good, wouldn't it?
That would be good.
He was good on
Aye.
open goal a couple of.
Aye,
Yes, well,
he just loves the game.
Top
I love
man.
people like that.
Top man.
Love people like that. What is the whose question is it yourself?
Mine.
Nope.
What is the last season Rangers? What is the last season that Rangers won at Hampden?
2015-16.
Jesus Christ, we're not that fucking bad, mate. 2019.
Because she's got to the
2020.
final League Cup.
Yeah, Rangers beat Hearts
Oh, Jesus. I've had
3-0.
a mare here.
3-0 in the League Cup semi against Hearts. I can see him mobbing on
Oh my
scored 2.
God.
No wonder he doesn't know. He's
I know.
trying to release it if he's mind.
He was mad with it.
I was in Milan that day. Thank Christ.
Were you?
Aye.
Went to Fashion Week.
No.
I know you like your fashion.
Oh, yeah, as you can see.
Watching El Shaarawy.
I watched Milan struggle to a 1-0 win against Spal. What a great time
At
to
the
be
San
alive.
Siro.
Aye, amazing, mate.
That was during their back
Oh.
years though.
What?
Who scored? Who scored for them?
Suso, free kick.
Brilliant.
Suso.
That's the best gaff I've ever been to. Love the San Siro.
Suso that played
Sensational. Liverpool.
for. Was it not? I know, but
The Suso Santana played for us.
I was thinking him. He was
Player.
a phenomenal player in FIFA.
He's
FIFA 12
Suso.
maybe.
Lovely wee player. Tenerife legend.
Silver car.
Tenerife legend. Tenerife. Hibernian manager Sean Maloney has played for 3 English clubs. Can you name 2?
Yep. Aston Villa and Wigan.
Correct. The third, Adam?
they were funnily enough my two.
Right, do you know, Ryan, just to...
Is it not like a Bristol or something like that? No.
Hull City.
Hull
City
So it
was
was.
the
That was
one,
his last
Jesus.
one. Aye,
Mhm.
aye.
His other clubs
Crying out
include
loud.
Thank God it
Chicago.
wasn't 3.
His other clubs include Chicago Fire and Celtic. To make it 2-1, No,
Yeah, I
free
need
one.
this.
To make it free one.
Have you got
He
all
just
three?
scored
Yeah,
three.
aye.
He just got his third one here, mate. So you
This
really,
could be a granny here.
you need this,
I
mate.
usually perform well in the quiz. Come on.
Aye, pressure's
up.
getting you because the apprentice is in the corner.
Embarrassing.
He's falling asleep. It's like, why am I even here?
Because the Peaky Blinders are on, man. They're going to get you, mate.
Right, here we go. Ricky Lamy scored late against Livingston to send Motherwell into the top six. But which bottom six club has he signed a pre-contract agreement with?
Dundee.
Correct. He's still in the game. He's still in the game.
Come on.
What is the biggest win in terms of goal deficit so far this season in the Scottish Premiership, Ryan?
Goal deficit?
Yeah.
Uh,
Biggest difference, obviously, you know that.
It's got to be Celtic against St Johnstone, isn't it?
So your answer is...
Wait, so biggest, what do you mean by goal deficit?
So the
As in the biggest margin of
the
victory.
biggest margin, aye, exactly.
So we trick question here.
Biggest... Is it like an 8-1 or something?
Oh. He can pass. He can pass as well.
No, there's no point in passing. No, I'm just going to go for Celtic, St Johnstone. Because I can't honestly think
And the
of it.
score line, obviously, we need.
7-0.
Correct. I tried to kind of...
That's alright, mate.
I tried to
Well,
try
he's
to
all,
keep you
he's
guys-
all tense at home.
Sweet, that's your one now,
He's
isn't it?
one, aye.
Yeah,
Congrats,
mate.
we'll go for it.
But
though.
we'll
of
keep
course.
going. He's got a 4. We can see if we get a
Got any
5 here.
tiebreaker?
There is a tiebreaker.
Oh, lovely.
We didn't need that. That's
No, no. But
Scotland threw
come
away
on,
a
settle
2-goal
yourself.
lead versus Austria last month, Adam. But
Yes,
who
they
was the
did.
first goal scorer?
Oh, Christ.
Something a bell.
As in, Scotland's first goal scorer?
Yeah. Bell, aye. Bell. The first goal scorer in the match. We did score first.
Jack Hendry.
Correct. Well done.
Yeah.
You could get a free here still, so we'll see. The Scotland women's side are set to play which European country tonight, as in earlier
They
this
beat
night?
2-0 off of Spain.
Brilliant. 5 out of
Good
5.
knowledge.
5
Well
out of
done,
5
mate.
for Ryan McGinley.
Cheers, mate.
Stupend. You never stood a chance today, Adam.
No, it's it.
You never stood a chance. But can you get a free? Let's see. Kyle Lafferty scored against the Pals at the weekend to secure all 3 points. But which body part did he score with?
His noggin.
No, it was actually his knob. No, it wasn't. It was his left foot. Remember his knob? It was all your... it doesn't matter.
This podcast needs to end.
No. So 5-2 is the final. Do you want to do the tiebreaker or no?
Aye. What for it?
It's there.
Aye,
We've got to
okay.
use it. Because Matthew
Yeah.
puts the effort
That's
into
it.
the
He
tiebreaker.
puts
an
he
insult.
puts the effort in, but you know what fucking team he supports. Here we go. Get done.
Oh, here we
Tie
go.
break. Ange Postecoglou's win percentage for Celtic minus Gio's win percentage at Rangers. And I'll let you guys decide between you who goes first. I don't know who deserves to go first. Is it Ryan that deserves to go first? Or
Let
is it
Kendall
Adam?
go first.
Kendall goes first on this. So, Ange Postecoglou's win percentage at Celtic minus Gio's win percentage at Rangers. Ouch. That was my eardrum.
Jesus. Why do I feel like it's actually not going to be that big a range? Big Ange must have a good 70-80% win percentage. I'm just going to say it because I got it in my head. I'll go for something like 12%. I don't know.
I was going to go for like 11%.
So you were just going to go one lower.
No, I'm going to go 10% then.
10%.
Uh-huh.
Well,
no,
I-
not 10%, just 10.
I can tell you that Ange Postecoglou's win percentage at Celtic, this is of course including Europe as well,
That was the only thing that computed it slightly.
his win percentage at Celtic is 72.22%.
It's not bad, by
alright,
the way.
it's
Not bad.
It's not
a
too
decent
bad.
guess.
Minus Gio, which is 66.67%,
Wow. So that's
Which-
what, 5.5 or something like that?
5.55.
Staunch.
Staunch.
So
Should I win that as well?
you won that, I know. So you
I
did
know,
granny.
right.
Well, you got a point, but he's got a 6 out of 6. So
That's embarrassing.
that was absolutely stupendous, and thanks for coming on, boys. I've thoroughly enjoyed your company again.
It's fun.
It is, yeah, look, it was us three as well the last time I done a podcast. It's now 1:10. I'm absolutely shattered.
Need our kip, don't we?
We need our kip. So if you've made it all the way to the end of this video, firstly, get a hobby. Kidding. No, I'm joking. Because I noticed, by the way, see when I was trying to get a bit excited for the last Old Firm or different games, you can't find fucking nothing anywhere. Sky Sports don't give you nothing. It's terrible. The stuff we get. So this is why I like watching fan podcasts and all that sort of stuff.
It's the future,
actually,
mate.
exactly.
Well, it's
so
not the future, it's the present, because I think a lot
it
of
is a
people are
present and it's a future. So if you are new around here, please consider subscribing to the channel. We'll be back, hopefully, with regular podcasts. Obviously, David's moved back up the road for the summer. Hopefully, we'll be back doing. I don't know if it will be, but hopefully it will be.
Fingers
We're hoping
crossed.
to maybe start up the
Zoom
live
calls,
show again. Because obviously David fucking started this thing as well, so we want him to be involved as much as
Absolutely.
possible, and hopefully we can get more content out of you as well. But that is going to do us here. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again in the next one. Bye bye.